Welcome to session 2 of feedback amplifiers. In this session, we will see some of the properties of the negative feedback. So in the previous session, we have listed what are the advantages that we can extract by connecting negative feedback in case of amplifier circuits. So here in this session, we will take up those important properties of the negative feedback in detail. So among those properties, we are going to discuss gain desensitivity, bandwidth extension, noise reduction, and reduction in the nonlinear distortion. So first we'll take the gain sensitivity. Okay. So now in the previous session also we have come across the term gain desensitivity. So it is nothing but to make the value of the gain less sensitive to variations in the value of circuit components. Okay, because if there are any variations in the circuit components, this should not affect the gain of the amplifier. Okay, so such a process is known as desensitizing the gain. Now how this negative feedback is going to do this? Okay, so let us understand this through the simple expressions of the negative feedback amplifier. Okay. Now this sensitivity reduction property, so we will analyze by writing the feedback amplifier gain equation. We know that the AF is given by, that is feedback gain AF is equal to A divided by 1 plus A into beta. Okay, so where A is nothing but open loop gain of the amplifier, and here let beta be constant. Beta be constant. Okay, so let us take this as one expression, first expression. Okay, now differentiating the above equation on both sides, so we'll get DAF will be equal to 1 plus AB into dA minus A into beta dA by 1 plus AB whole square. Okay. This can be further simplified. dA plus A beta to dA minus A beta dA by 1 plus AB whole square. Okay, so we'll see that the two AB dA terms will cancel, so therefore we are left with DAF is equal to dA by 1 plus AB whole square. We'll take this as equation 2. Okay. Now dividing this equation 2 by 1. Dividing equation 2 by 1, we are going to get DAF by AF. DAF by AF. So that will be equal to dA by 1 plus A beta whole square. This will be divided by A by 1 plus A beta. So this is going to give us dA by 1 plus A beta into A, or we can write DAF by AF will be equal to 1 by 1 plus A beta into dA by E. So this is an important relation here. Okay, so DAF by AF will be equal to 1 by 1 plus A beta into dA by E. Now, so equation 3 reveals some important characteristics here. So this indicates that percentage change in gain AF, that is gain with the feedback due to any variations in the circuit components, okay, is smaller than percentage change in the open loop gain A by amount equal to 1 plus A beta. Okay, this 1 plus A beta term is called amount of feedback. Okay, so for this reason, the amount of feedback 1 plus A beta term is also known as desensitivity factor. Okay, so the important information revealed by equation 3 will be a percentage change in the feedback gain AF due to any variations or changes in the circuit components will be smaller than the percentage change in the open loop gain A by the amount of feedback 1 plus AB. Okay, so 1 plus AB term is called as amount of feedback. Okay, so that's why this 1 plus AB term is also known as desensitivity factor. Desensitivity factor. Okay, so this is what is the advantage now. So by connecting the feedback network, then going to the next property, bandwidth extension. Now in the previous module, while discussing the common source amplifier frequency responses, we know the expressions for higher 3 dB frequency FH as well as the lower 3 dB frequency FL. So FH minus FL, that band is going to represent the bandwidth of the common source amplifier. Okay, so now extension in the bandwidth, okay, is a important property, so that will be revealed by the negative feedback. So now by taking the expressions of the FL and FH, so let us understand what is this bandwidth extension property of the feedback amplifiers. Now for this I have to write the amplifier gains at mid frequency as well as high frequency. Okay, so we know that the amplifier gain at mid and high frequency will be given by A of S will be equal to AM divided by 1 plus S by omega H. Okay, so for example, if is our amplifier characteristics, so we know that this is a 3 mid band, this is the mid band, so here we have the FH and here we have the FL. So we are discussing about now this bandwidth. Okay, so the difference between FH and FL we have considered as a bandwidth of the amplifier. So now what is the effect of this negative feedback on that bandwidth, that we are discussing now. So for this I have to write the amplifier gain at high frequency as well as at the mid frequency range given by equation 1. Now here what is the term AM? So AM represents the mid band gain and this omega H represents the upper 3 dB frequency. So therefore now the closed loop gain AF of S will be given by A of S divided by 1 plus beta into A of S. What is A of S? AF of S is known as closed loop gain. So it is equal to again A of S by 1 plus beta times of A of S. So now from 1 we already know what is AS. We will substitute equation 1 in 2 and will simplify. Okay, so substituting equation 1 in 2 and simplify. So this AF of S will be equal to AM into omega H divided by S plus omega H into 1 plus AM into beta. So wherever AS is there, we have to substitute this equation 1 and some simple simplification is required to write A of S in this form, AM into omega H by S plus omega H into 1 plus AM beta. Now by taking omega h into 1 plus am beta as a common factor in the denominator side, we can further write a of s will be equal to am into omega h divided by, so omega h into 1 plus am beta is a common factor, so 1 plus s divided by omega h into 1 plus am into beta, okay. So further simplification will give us a of s is equal to am divided by 1 plus am beta is whole divided by 1 plus s divided by omega h into 1 plus am beta. Now this we will take it as equation 3. Okay, so now we will compare this equation 3 with 1. So in equation 1 what we have, am divided by 1 plus s by omega h. In equation 3 we have am by 1 plus am beta by 1 plus s is divided by now omega h 1 plus am beta. So therefore comparing equation 1 and 3, we have this omega hf will be equal to omega h into 1 plus am beta. Okay, so now this is one important relation here, so we will take that as equation 4. Okay, so what it shows, in case of feedback amplifiers, the upper 3 dB frequency omega h, okay, or we can also say like this, omega hf means upper 3 dB frequency of feedback amplifier. This will be equal to omega h times 1 plus am into beta. Okay, so earlier what we had, only omega h, now this omega h will be multiplied by amount of feedback term, that is 1 plus am into beta. Now this is what is the effect on the higher 3 dB frequency. So it means that the upper 3 dB frequency is increased by a factor which is equal to amount of feedback, that is 1 plus am into beta. Okay, now similarly we'll go to the lower side, that is fl. So what happens to this lower 3 dB frequency? Okay, now similarly here also we'll follow the same steps. So first we have to write this a of s, that is the amplifier gain at the lower 3 dB frequency. It is given by a of s will be equal to am divided by 1 plus omega l by s. Now this is what is the expression for amplifier gain at lower 3 dB frequency. Okay, and now we know this a of s, so this will be as usual given by a of s divided by 1 plus beta into a of s. So now again we will substitute equation 5, in equation 6, just we are following the same steps. So by substituting, and then we need to simplify. So af of s will be giving am divided by 1 plus beta am, 1 plus beta am plus omega l by s, okay. Now again the term 1 plus beta am okay, or am into beta, it is taken as a common factor in the denominator, and by taking common factor and rewriting, we are going to get one more expression, that is a of s will be equal to am by 1 plus am beta, this divided by 1 plus omega l by s plus, sorry, omega l by s into 1 plus beta am. So this can be taken as equation 7. Now comparing equation 7 with equation 5. So because equation 5 is the basic AS equation, we will compare equation 5 and 7. So on comparison, now it is possible to write omega LF. Okay, so omega LF will be equal to omega L divided by 1 plus am into beta. So therefore this is going to give us the lower 3 dB frequency with the feedback connection. Okay, so comparing the basic equation, that is with the equation 4 of omega hf and comparing equation 8 of omega lf. Okay, here we observe that the omega h, that is, was increased by a factor 1 plus am beta. It means what? The higher 3 dB frequency is increased by a factor 1 plus am into beta, but whereas the omega LF, lower 3 dB, it is reduced now, because omega L is now divided by the amount of feedback term 1 plus am into beta. Okay, so omega h is increased by 1 plus am beta, whereas omega L is decreased by the same amount 1 plus am into beta. So this is going to again maintain, okay, the same bandwidth product. Therefore the gain bandwidth product is going to remain same. Gain bandwidth product is going to remain a constant value. Okay, so this conclusion is possible just by comparing equation 4 and the 8. Okay, so now this is what is the effect of feedback on the lower and the upper 3 dB frequencies in the frequency response of the amplifier. Okay, next going to the next part. Okay, so here through this frequency response diagram, we are trying to represent the bandwidth extension effect of the feedback amplifier. Okay, so this we know, the frequency response of the amplifier. So the terms are as usual. So FL and FH are there. So now here we can see that AM is nothing but the mid frequency gain. So FH is multiplied by 1 plus AM beta, whereas FL is divided by 1 plus AM into beta. Okay, so equation 4 and 8 are represented in the frequency response graph. Okay, so this is what is regarding the bandwidth extension of the feedback amplifiers. It's going to another important property, that is noise reduction. Okay, so how the feedback network is going to achieve this noise reduction. Okay, now the negative feedback can be used to increase the signal to noise ratio. It is nothing but SNR. Okay, in other words, it can also be stated that the negative feedback can be used to reduce the noise. So signal to noise ratio. So SNR means the ratio of signal and noise. Okay, so the effect of negative feedback is to reduce the noise. So when noise is reduced, the total SNR value will increase. So how it is possible? So now to understand this, let us take one simple block diagram representation. So here we have the signal source, and assume that this is connected to the amplifier block with the gain A1, and this is the output V0, and this is the noise Vn. Okay, so Vn represents the noise here. Okay, and A1 is the amplifier gain, and here Vs, we can write Vs as nothing but the signal. Okay, now in this case the noise is assumed to be introduced at the input side of the amplifier, and therefore the total signal to noise ratio, that is S by N, will be given by Vs divided by Vn. In a very basic configuration as shown in this picture, the signal to noise ratio is given by simply Vs by Vn. Now if we assume that another amplifier stage A2 is introduced, which is not suffering from any kind of noise, we can redraw the block diagram like this. So here another block A2 is introduced, which is free from any noise interference, and this A1 block is as usual, it is just similar to the previous diagram, and here what we observe, this V0. But now in between A2 and AN, so here we have to introduce the noise source Vn. Okay, and now we have the feedback block, that is beta, okay. Now this is connected to the signal source Vs. Okay. Now here we have the feedback beta into V0. Okay. Now in this block diagram, the A1 amplifier is preceded by another amplifier A2. Okay, so A1 amplifier is suffering from the noise Vn, but whereas A2 is a clean amplifier, it is not affected by any noise. Okay, so for this kind of connection, okay, the V0, that is output at the final stage, is found by superposition, that is V0 will be equal to Vs into A1 A2 by 1 plus A1 A2 into beta plus Vn into A1 divided by 1 plus A1 A2 into beta. What is this? This is the V0, which is found out by superposition rule. Now at the output, now we are able to calculate the SNR. Okay, so therefore SNR will be equal to, so signal part in this will be Vs A1 A2 divided by 1 plus A1 A2 into beta divided by the noise part is Vn A1 divided by 1 plus A1 A2 into beta. So this on simplification gives Vs by Vn into A2. Okay. So therefore the total or the overall signal to noise ratio in case of this particular connection is Vs by Vn into A2. Okay, so therefore this result is an important result, which shows that the signal to noise ratio is higher by an amount A2, higher by A2 times in comparison with the previous equation 1. Okay, so when we have only one amplifier which is affected by the noise, signal to noise ratio is only Vs by Vn, but at the same time if in the feedback, okay, so if we introduced another amplifier, or if we say that an, if it is preceded by another amplifier a2, which is a clean amplifier, then the overall signal to noise ratio will be increased by factor a2, where a2 is nothing but what? It is the gain of the preceding amplifier. Okay, so this is what is regarding the noise reduction in case of feedback structures. Okay. So lastly, we have one more important feature, that is reduction in the non-linear distortion. So now with the feedback connection, it is possible to achieve linearity in the characteristics. Okay, so the non-linear transfer characteristics of the amplifier, they generate a large amount of non-linear distortions. Okay, so the amplifier transfer characteristics may be linearized, or the amplifier transfer characteristics may be made less non-linear through the application of negative feedback. So this linearization of the transfer characteristics is possible because of one reason. What is that reason? The negative feedback reduces the dependence of the overall closed loop amplifier gain on the open loop gain of the basic amplifier. Okay, so what is the effect of negative feedback? The negative feedback reduces dependence of overall closed loop amplifier gain, how it is indicated, AF, okay, on the open loop gain of the basic amplifier indicated by A. It means to say that AF is less dependent on A. Okay, so if it is done, then we are going to get reduction in the nonlinear distortion. Okay, so what is the result? Okay, the large changes in the open loop gain A, they result in very smaller changes in the closed loop gain AF. Okay, so the result of negative feedback is the larger changes in the open loop gain A, they result in what? Very smaller changes in the closed loop gain AF. So how it is possible? To illustrate that, so let us take a very simple example of a feedback pattern. Now let us assume that there is a feedback amplifier with a beta value 0.01. Okay, so now in the first case let us assume that our open loop gain is 1000. Okay, so with this the feedback gain AF will be given by 1000 divided by 1 plus 1000 into 0.01. Why this equation? This represents what? AF is equal to A divided by 1 plus A into beta. Okay, so with this AF value is around 90.9. Now assume that with the same beta, that is 0.01, if A is reduced to 100, assume that for some reason the open loop gain of the amplifier A is only 100. Now in that case, what is this AF? So again we will calculate. AF will be equal to 100 divided by 1 plus 100 into 0.01. So this is going to give the value around 50. So therefore now in comparison with the changes in the gain, see now A has changed from 1000 to 100. Okay, whereas AF has changed from 90 to only 50. Okay, so it means that the AF is now less sensitive to changes in the A. Okay, and this is possible only because of the feedback connections. So because of this, so non-linear distortion will be very much reduced. So these are all the important properties of the negative feedback amplifiers. Okay, so with this the session will be closed. So in this session we have discussed the different properties, like how desensitivity can be obtained, gain desensitivity, and then bandwidth extension. So with the feedback connection, how the higher and lower 3 dB frequencies are going to be affected, and similarly the third one, that is how the overall signal to noise ratio is going to be enhanced in case of feedback amplifier topology, and finally how the nonlinear distortions are going to be reduced in case of feedback sections. So we'll continue in the next session. Thank you.